Okay, we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Amanda Legue. I'm the Assistant Director of the Professional Career Escalators program at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. Super excited to be here with you all and tell you about this really fantastic new program at UMKC. So I am going to do just a pretty quick, broad overview of the program and kind of its different elements. And we'll also take a look at the application process, admission requirements as well. So if you have questions as we're going through here, please feel free to throw those in and I'll try and get to those as we can. And I'm sure we'll have some time at the end of the presentation for questions as well. So to start out, why college? Why do students go to college? So when that question is asked, the research comes back and shows about 8 out of 10 students say they go to college so that they can get a good job after graduation. That makes plenty of sense. What's a little bit more interesting is that the research also shows that only about 40% of students use their campus's career services or career development resources that are available to them. So there's an interesting kind of gap there between I want to get a good job, but I haven't really used the career development resources that are available to me. So our program, the Professional Career Escalators, was designed essentially to kind of bridge that gap between college and career readiness for students. So a little bit more about the why of the Professional Career Escalators. We've been seeing a lot of students who go through anywhere from 3 to 5 or maybe even 6 years of undergraduate study, but they get to graduation, they're still unsure about their next steps. They don't quite know or feel ready for what comes after in the real world. Or maybe they're not getting really any professional experience during their undergraduate experience, and then they don't really know what that job is going to look like outside of college. We also see some students maybe feeling like they don't see the return on the investment of their degree because they're not maybe getting the great jobs that they had hoped for or dreamed about when they came to college. I also see that some students are just kind of coming out underemployed because they haven't really been connected to those experiences during their undergrad to help them really prepare for a career afterwards. So that's kind of where Professional Career Escalators was built from. So a little bit more about the program as a whole, what this looks like. So our goal is to help students gain professional experience while they're earning their degree. So that might be through internships, shadowing opportunities, networking, building a network of connections in the Kansas City community, whether that's with industry professionals, mentors, or even faculty and staff here at the university. So we want students to really develop confidence and a better understanding of their career interests and career path after college. And the other big piece is we want students to be able to connect what they're learning in the classroom to real world experiences, to one, have a better experience with their education, but two, really be able to apply their skills faster and more effectively after graduation. So the program is really designed to help students build a network and build kind of a resume of experiences that are going to help prepare them for what comes next after graduation. So the way that we kind of execute all of that is first through kind of our 5 core experiences that we said, okay, these are the things that I think are going to help students the most as far as career readiness, prepare them to stand out as they're entering the career field as well. So those 5 core experiences, these are things that we ask students to engage with each semester. Career guidance and development. So we work really closely with career services here on campus at UMKC and help students get connected to our career coaches so that they've got an advocate there in our career services throughout their college career who can help bridge some of those gaps between college and career as they're here at UMKC. Another very important piece is experiential learning opportunities. So getting that real world learning, real world experiences, again, through things like internships, shadowing, just doing interviews with professionals to learn more about different opportunities they might have. There's lots and lots of opportunities for students to get that experiential learning while they're here on campus and in the community. Mentoring is also a really important piece for us for the professional career escalators. We work hard to help students connect with mentors on and off campus. Again, just another person to help guide them as they're thinking about different career pathways. And then leadership development. This is something we are really excited about and proud of to offer as part of this program. At this point in time, UMKC doesn't necessarily have kind of a formalized curriculum for leadership. So we don't necessarily have a leadership minor or major. So we have, as part of the Professional Career Escalators program, a credentialed leadership program that students can kind of opt into. It's a kind of an extra piece, is the leadership credential. And it is somewhat exclusive for professional career escalator students. It's kind of an extra piece that they have on their transcript, as well as their resume that says, I was part of this leadership program. Here's what I got from it. And students are able to kind of articulate their own leadership philosophy and experiences that have helped them build their leadership style. So we're really excited about that and how that's going to grow with the program. And then finally, we have a lot of students who are interested in graduate school or professional school. And so that is kind of the final piece of the puzzle, that we have options and opportunities to help them prepare for those entry exams, just being ready for that next step after graduation if it isn't directly into their career. So those are our 5 core experiences. We also kind of have what we call essential experiences for the career escalators. And so these are our orientations. So we do a hop-in orientation at the beginning of the fall semester, at the very beginning of the program. So we do a 2-day orientation. And then we do what we're calling a reorientation in the spring semester, at the beginning of the spring semester, just to get everybody back together, back on the same page with the program requirements and what's coming up for the semester. Students also will have the opportunity throughout the year for one-on-one meetings with the PCE staff, the Professional Career Escalators staff, as well as peer group meetings through our ambassador program. So as the program grows, we want students to still be able to connect on a kind of smaller scale. So instead of kind of cohort-wide, they can connect with each other on a smaller scale through those peer meetings with people in their similar career tracks. And then finally, cohort meetings. We have monthly cohort meetings for the students, one, to reconnect with each other, but also to talk about announcements, events, things coming up, get everyone back in the same room and connecting together. So it's required for students to come to at least one of those cohort meetings per semester, but we do hold them monthly. So we've got the core experiences and the essential experiences that we think are going to help make students successful throughout the program. Yeah, you might have heard me mention the idea of a career track. So we have these kind of 4 main career tracks that we've selected for at least these first couple of years in the program. This list might grow. But the idea here is that students, as they come into the program, can select one of these 4 career tracks. So healthcare, education, business and engineering are kind of lumped together, as well as law and justice. So I like to think of these as a little bit fluid, at least in the students' first year or two, where they might select education when they come in, but then they realize, no, I actually want to go into some sort of business with my degree. So they're not locked into the healthcare or to the career tracks. Really what that does is helps the staff tailor experiences, information we share, connections we help students make to kind of their specific track, what they're interested in. So we kind of keep an eye on that throughout a student's journey with the program, so that we can make sure we're getting them the right experiences. So any major can apply for our program. So we've got these 4 career tracks. Students get a little bit confused of like, well, I'm not doing business or education or healthcare or law and justice, so should I not apply? No. Any major can apply for the program. So here's kind of an example of how this works. So maybe a student wants to study psychology, majoring in psychology. There's tons and tons of different things that you can do with a psychology degree. So there's options in each of the career tracks that they might be interested in. And again, they might come in thinking they are really interested in being a clinical licensed social worker, and then get in a couple semesters and talk to a social worker and decide, nope, that's not for me. I'm maybe more interested in the marketing side. So maybe they switch to the business track. So again, it can be a little bit fluid. Here's an example for what that looks like for some students who might be in the conservatory. So we have a couple of film students, we have some dance students who are part of the program and still getting a lot of value out of these experiential learning opportunities. So just a couple examples. We really like to push that, but this is for any major. Everyone is welcome to apply for this program. Okay, a couple of perks for the program. So we do have a living learning community, which is in one of our residence halls. So students who choose to live on campus can choose to live in the living learning community with other professional career escalator students. So they're living with students who are kind of going through the same things, especially in a student's first year of college, living with students or, surrounded with other students who are going through the same transition of high school to college and the challenges that come with that. Really great to have a community of people who are going through the same program to connect with. So there's kind of the immersion in the professional career escalators community, as well as just building some lifelong bonds with students in the program. And of course, what we've all been waiting for, scholarship options. So the program, if accepted into the program, students receive a scholarship. So there is 2 options. If students choose to live on campus at any point during their college career in the program, they can select the housing scholarship that is $2,500 a year, and both of the scholarships are renewable up to 4 years for first-time college students and up to 2 years for transfer students. So if a student is living off campus, they can select the $1,500 house or tuition scholarship for that year if they would like. Again, this changes each year, even if a student decides to move off campus at semester. We can make that work with the scholarship options here. Okay, so let's talk about admission requirements. So obviously, students need to be admitted to UMKC. That's kind of how they will first access the application for the program. We like to think of our students who come into the program. These are emerging leaders who are really passionate about building networks and building connections and really immersing themselves in opportunities that are going to prepare them for life after college. So our students are involved in the community and leadership development, or at least have the desire to be. Maybe haven't had the opportunities yet to be, but want to be. And then we also have a GPA requirement as a 2.5 overall GPA. So for first-time college students, that's your high school GPA. Transfer students, it needs to be the same at 2.5 or higher. So those are our main requirements there. I missed transfer students need to come in with at least 60 hours, 60 credit hours or more to qualify for that kind of transfer student track. A couple other things I'll mention. The program right now is currently only for incoming students to UMKC. So their first year at the university. So we're not opening up the program right now to current students. So if a student came in their freshman year and didn't apply for the program, they get to sophomore year and like, I think I really want to do that. We're not currently opening to current students. So just for first-time college students or transfer students coming in for their first year. And the application is only accessible right now through the admissions portal. So once you've been admitted to UMKC, you can find that application in your admissions portal. Our cohorts also start each fall. We won't have a cohort in the spring. So each fall, that is kind of our turnaround. And then the last thing is that in order for students to receive their scholarship, they have to attend our 2-day hop-in orientation at the beginning of the fall semester. That is kind of the kickoff of the program where students learn about all of the requirements and kind of how to navigate the program along with their peers. So we have a lot of fun in those 2 days, and we want to make sure that students don't miss that. So that's something to consider as you're applying to make sure that you can attend those. It'll always be the Thursday and Friday just before the first day of the semester. And of course, the application process, pretty simple overall. Students, again, this will be in your application portal or your portal for once you've been admitted to UMKC. And so we'll ask students to select a career track. Again, this is not signing your life away to a career track. It's just kind of an initial look at who we have coming in and what kind of resources we're going to need for that year, looking at those career tracks. And then the application itself is we ask students to do a 3 to 5 minute video that answers a couple of different prompts about, why they're interested in the program, what they hope to get out of it. Our students have made some really creative submissions here in the past, so it's an opportunity to kind of get creative with an application. It's a little more fun than paper and pen application. And then finally, we ask students to submit a recommendation letter, just one for the application process. And so our application deadline for this year is March 1st. So students who are incoming for the fall 2023 semester, that will be your deadline coming up in just a couple of short months. I'm sure that'll be here before we know it. All right, so lots of information in kind of a short time period, but we are really excited to welcome a new cohort of students this fall in 2023. This fall of 2022 was our first time launching the program, so our first cohort of students. We had 90 students for this first round. It's been really fun to see them all engaging with the different elements of the program, and the feedback that we've gotten from them has been really positive about their experiences. So we're excited to bring in a new cohort of students in the fall of 2023. If you have any questions, you want to know more about the program, please feel free to contact myself directly, or you can send an email to our email here, careerescalators@umkc.edu. Check out our website at go.umkc.edu/escalators to learn more about the program, learn a little bit more about the application process as well. I think there's a link there to help you get straight to the application on your portal. So thank you all so much for your time and interest in our program, and we are really looking forward to seeing some of your applications.